Hello and welcome to Striking News TV. Joined today by Luke and Stephen, regular viewers of Striking News TV, to preview the game against Southampton. How are you, Luke? You write regularly for Manchester Evening News.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. So we're joined as well by Stephen. Stephen, how's things?
Good, thank you.
Good stuff. I suppose looking at some of the predictions already for the Southampton game and some of the responses we've got in the lead up to the video, people are very, very confident. And I suppose United are on a run of wins now, 4 wins on the trot, and they're looking for their fifth now. And with Liverpool next weekend, it would be the ideal Christmas present to go into the new year having won all our games in December. Speaking about that, Luke, are United fans too confident right now? Because these are two big games against a well-balanced Southampton side and a Liverpool side that would be up to upset United.
I think we are confident. I mean, it's like what I've said before. Southampton are coming off the back of two consecutive defeats, obviously against City and Arsenal. So I think we're playing them at an ideal time in the season. So I'm confident, as a United fan, that we can put one over them. It's just a question of obviously the team that we're gonna play. So I mean, we're without Di Maria. I mean, I know he's not been playing well at the minute, but he still has an impact on the game. So whether we'll see Herrera, sorry, playing behind the two strikers like what he did against Stoke in midweek, it'll be interesting to see what Van Gaal does, because although I think he did play well there, Herrera, I think he made the wrong decisions with some of his passes. I know he set up Fellaini's goal, but he just needs to improve his decision making. So it's all going to depend on who we select and obviously what goes on Monday night.
On that note, Stephen, we're and the Herrera, and lots of people have been calling for him to play regularly, and he's been out with injuries and so on, a cracked rib. But people have really been talking about Fellaini and should he be dropped right now. But he's playing some great football. He's in form. It's very hard to drop a player in form. And how do you think, say, when Blind comes back from his injury, how are we going to fit these players?
I don't think there's room for Blin at the moment. Carrick's playing so well in the position that Blin would usually play in. He's like, there's some tweets I saw about Carrick like saying, is he back on the form of the season before Moyes? I think he is, and I don't think Blin can play in that centre role like Herrera does with Fellaini. So it's just, I don't think Blin can come back. And Herrera, he showed against Hull how good he can be, but against Stoke, because Stoke are a bit physical and Fellaini outshone him. A lot of people are saying that he shouldn't be in the team if Blin comes back, but I don't see him playing behind the strikers either if Rooney's back and Van Gaal wants to go with Falcao and Van Persie after Southampton are off the two back defeats. Yeah, I think we might go full throat on them then, but I'm not too sure.
Or Luke, on the debate of when Blind comes back, we spoke prior to the show. Big admirer of Blind. Where does he fit in? Who faces the axe when he does come back?
It's a difficult question. I saw someone tweeted you with a question regarding this, and it's a difficult one really, because I sort of share the opinion of Stephen that, you know, by trade he's a defender, so by playing him in that sort of like holding role what he's got him in at the minute, I don't know if that is his best position, because when we're under the cosh and someone needs to put the foot in to make a tackle, I think he's a bit scared to do it sometimes. And you know, Carrick is the same as that. You know, they're both great passers of the ball. Don't get me wrong, it'd be great if we could have both of them in there. But I just think Blind in that role, I can't see him being there for the whole season. I'd be surprised if he is. So possibly, I would keep Blind out actually, and maybe keep Carrick in there because he is playing well at the moment. Maybe just see how it goes because Carrick's not getting any younger, is he? And maybe if this is because he's out of contract next summer, so maybe if this is his last season, why not get a good season out of him?
Hopefully not, because he is one of those players you like to keep around. He did post on Twitter recently, did some lots of research on coaching badges, and wherever that would take him. He wants to stay in football when he retires, obviously. But obviously on that note, with players coming back from injury, with United this season, no doubt we'd have players picking up injuries. So we'll unlikely be in a situation this season where we'll have all midfielders available. We have the headache of picking one. But saying that, seasons gone by, midfield has been a real struggle. And it's the first time in quite a while we're kind of thinking it's not the problem this season. We're scoring goals midfield. And now we're starting to control games in midfield with the help of Fellaini being a nuisance for the opposition. Defensively, that's the issue. We have Johnny Evans coming back for the Southampton game. Defensively, Stephen, how are you set up against Southampton? Going forward, I did mention they are well balanced, but going forward, they have numerous options.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see because Johnny Evans is back. Supposedly back. Van Gaal said he was, and it'll be interesting to see if we still stay with the four. But I don't see it. But Rojo going to left to allow Evans back in to play with Smalling, but that would mean Ashley Young with the team. But I don't think that would happen after such a good performance against Stoke. I think got man of the match as well. And on the right, Raphael's back in training. So and Valencia did well against Ashley on the right hand side. So I see Valencia keeping his place. I still see Young playing, and then Evans on the bench. I don't see him coming back in just yet. And then Stevo and Smalling, who have been brilliant so far since Rojo's come back. So, yep.
Yeah, and of course, I think at the start of the season when we were leaking silly goals, Phil Jones was the best of a bad bunch. He still hasn't returned yet, and it is an issue. But the one thing I will say, and a few seasons ago when City won the league for the first time in 2012, we were missing the Manjovic for quite a lot of that season, and he's our main man back there. Following season when we won the league, they were missing company for a long time that season, and it shows the significance of having not just your main defender, but a consistent back four. Very, very hard for Van Gaal this season when he can't. It's impossible to have the consistent back four and they're picking up injuries left, right, and centre. And I just think that people are over kind of analysing the whole thing about is Smalling good enough, is Jones good enough, is Evans good enough. It's very hard for any of them to be good enough when they're not getting consistent stints in the team because due to injuries. How can they develop? How can they get better? How can they put a real stamp on the team? And that's why I don't think they're as bad as we make them out to be. So I do hope between now and the end of the season we have Evans and Jones, Smalling back fit, and because I think for at least two of them, for Smalling and for Jones and Evans, I think it's really their last season to really prove themselves. It's Van Gaal's first. They've been around long enough. They really should at their age. Smalling's 25 now. He should have his spot cemented. There should be no doubt over him. He's been at the club long enough. He's 25 years old. He's at the stage now where he should be one of the main defenders, and he's not. And that's why I think these speculation over defenders coming in January, it should worry them. We are going to talk about what we would like United to set up with 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back. On that, Luke, your preferred back 3, back 4, back 5?
I don't know. It's a difficult one, really. I mean, obviously, down the years of from what I've been watching of United, I've been so used to them seeing the back 4. It's just it's crazy to see them playing a back three and back five at times. But I think the Arsenal game, it proved the 3 or 5, if you want to call it 5, it can work, and I think there is scope away from home for us to play that sort of formation. Maybe not against teams like Southampton or your Burnleys or Aston Villas sort of thing, but definitely in games against the big four, obviously Arsenal, Chelsea, and City, and obviously Liverpool as well. I think it could be a good decision to play 3 at the back, because going forward on the counter attack, it's such a dangerous formation to play, I think, and I think defensively as well, just being able to have 5 at the back, it gives us more stability, I think, and I think if Blin does come back into the team, I could see him playing a sort of like a sweeper role potentially, where he's part of the 3 centre backs, but he can, going forward, drop into the midfield, and I think that could be an option potentially.
Stephen, your preferred back 3, back 4, back 5?
Well, going into Southampton, what, for this game or just the whole season?
I suppose in general, and then we'll go on to what we expect with injuries, taking off injuries in this game.
I'd probably go, Luke Shaw. I'd play 4 at the back, because 3 at the back is dangerous because we're always playing on the counter attack. But it has worked. We've seen that at Arsenal a bit at the early stages of the season. It was really abysmal. But yeah, I'd still go with a 4. I think Phil Jones is really good when he's fit and ready. He hasn't proved himself, but he's showed a glimpse the last few seasons that he is starting to become what I'm not going to say when Fergie said he's going to become the best Manchester United player ever. But no, he's not going to be that. But he's still a very good player. Don't see him coming in just yet, but if he was, he'd play in front of Smalling, but it's hard to say Smalling take out because he's playing so well at the moment. Rojo, I think his position's nailed down. A lot of people are saying he's best at left back. I thought he's better at centre back, and at the World Cup as well, he played left back, but I wasn't convinced by him there. And the right, I think just Raphael, but I think his fitness record is got to be improved, because Van Gaal was showing signs that he didn't like him at the start, but when he got back in, he was fine, and then he's back out. Valencia back in, so I'm not too sure about that, but I think I'd go with Jones and Rojo and not Evans, but Smalling, it's if in doubt with him, because you've seen the stupid, silly incident at City, what he can do, but over the last few games he's been brilliant, so it's just between Jones and Smalling for me.
Yeah, I'd be very finding it a tough one. Left back, it's obviously Chris Smalling, Luke Shaw, with no one else. But that's not taking anything away from him. He has his time on his side. He could be our defender for longer than a decade, and he has some fantastic attributes already. Raphael, right back, massive Raphael fan. There's not many players that you could say that come in from different continents that you could say they actually understand the club. You could say the same thing. I know he's from France. Ever was the exact same. You'd know that he did his research about the club. When he spoke, at times he spoke better than what he played, and fans really really liked that. I can see that with Raphael as well. He wears his heart on his sleeve. When he performs well, he's one of the best right backs in the league. But sometimes he can make really silly mistakes, and he's not as consistent as the likes of Zabaleta and Ivanovic, and you would say would be up there amongst the best in the league. Cannot pick a pair in a centre half. Would be a big Johnny Evans fan. But I think at times Jones has to make him to be a really good, solid centre half. Smalling, who I wouldn't the biggest admirer of. In his past few games, to come back from suspensions, the City sending off has been fantastic. He's led the back four, and he's shown that sense of maturity after a really big outburst of immaturity against City. And then you're leaving with Rojo. It's taken until really now for me to warm to him as a centre half. But I think I like some of his attributes. He's not afraid to get stuck in. He got stuck in one of the lads against Arsenal, and nearly blew me out of the stadium. Really, really tough. And that's what you want in centre half. Not both of them. You need at least one that does that job. Vidic did it for a long, long time, United, and we're missing that. Just to focus on the Southampton game, some players are returned from injury. Of course, you got Wayne Rooney coming back. I know I asked you already, Luke, about United fans being maybe a bit overly confident. These two upcoming games against Southampton and Liverpool, I believe, will really tell us where United are right now. Win those two games, and it would take a massive cock-up not to get top four, I think. After a tough month with games coming thick and fast, to come through this month and win all our games, we're in a very, very strong position. In such a strong position, you could argue that if there's a title race on, we're not too far off. I'm not saying we're going to win the title, but the important thing is we might be competing for a title. And that alone brings into next season with that boost in confidence to say to the lads, right, let's go for it this year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these next two games are potentially season changing. Either, we'll win both, or we'll maybe win one and draw the other, and there's a potential to go even higher than top four, even third or second. I mean, Chelsea obviously losing at the weekend was a massive result, but I don't think we should get too ahead of ourselves. It's at the end of the day, they're still a really good team. I was actually talking to someone on Twitter about this, and it's not Arsenal, it's not Arsene Wenger, it's Jose Mourinho. They're going to stay there for potentially the rest of the season. I think City will challenge them, but for us, I think this Christmas period is going to be absolutely vital. I mean, obviously this is the first time that Van Gaal's come into a Christmas period where he's got a lot of games to play, so he's going to be tested, definitely, and the squad's going to be tested as well. And obviously we've got injured players coming back, and we need that squad depth at the minute. I just think if we get injuries to important players, then it could sort of spoil the rhythm. But at this moment in time, I'm confident that we can get through this Christmas period and really push up the table.
Southampton, Stephen, are you confident going into the tie?
I'm not as confident as the Liverpool game. I think I'm more confident than the Liverpool game, the Southampton game, which it's a bit weird, but I think Southampton have a lot to prove after those two results. Everyone's doubting them now. They'll go down, well, not down, as in down the table. But I think they're still a very good team. But the loss of Schneiderlin, we've seen, was a massive influence on the Man City game at half-time. They missed him a lot in the midfield. He's been great all season, so they missed him. He'll be out, which gives me a little bit of confidence, but I'm not getting ahead of myself because they're still a very good team. And the losses were against good sides, they're a good team. So why should we not be? Well, we shouldn't be confident going into it, because our away form is pretty poor. And okay, we beat Arsenal, but Southampton are a great side, and at St Mary's as well. Their crowd is quality as well, so they'll be all behind him.
Prediction, Luke?
I think we'll win, but I think it'll be a sort of a close run affair. I think it'll be either 2-1 or possibly even 1-0. I can see it being a really tight game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Stephen, prediction?
Okay, I'm just gonna go for a 1-0 United win, but iffy. Hopefully.
Don't usually make predictions, usually jinx it. It is obviously an away fixture, and just back of beating Arsenal away, that was the first away win. I'm not going in too confident. I think this one will be more difficult than the game against Liverpool on the weekend. But don't underestimate Liverpool either. It is against United. It's a cup final this season. But they want to show us what it's like being a team in Europe. And we want to show them what it's like to be a team coming back in Europe and getting their spot. I think we win. I'm going to say we're going to win because I'm not going to be a moody arse and dwell before the game. But we are in a good run of form. Beat Southampton, beat Liverpool, and go into the new year as a side that's going to challenge for the title. I think. I need to emphasise that's a challenge. I don't think they're going to win the title. I think that's out of the league right now. I think it's definitely Chelsea's. If City can push them, I don't think so. But I think it's going to be Chelsea's. But yeah, I think United are going to win. Confident of that. Have to be confident. Is that you want to say, Luke, before we wrap it up?
I'd agree with you that we're thinking about the league title this season. I think it's just a bit out of reach, if I'm honest. I think City and Chelsea are probably going to fight it out until the end. But it's like what I said before, like we don't want to just get top four. We want to really push and potentially get a third place spot, because don't forget, fourth place, you still have to qualify for the Champions League with the playoff. So to get a third position would be, I think it'd be a really good season. It's not only the league as well. I'd really like United to have a cup run as well. You know, the last time we won the FA Cup, I think it was 2004. And we've obviously been in finals since then against Arsenal and Chelsea, and we've come close. I mean, there was a time in 2008 where we lost to Portsmouth in the semi-final, and it was like a travesty because I was there at the game and we lost that. And I was just thinking we could have won the treble again, potentially, because we did win the Premier League and the Champions League. So not only the league, I'd really like us to see a good cup run for United. And Van Gaal said that he's challenging, he's going for the FA Cup. So I don't see why we shouldn't be able to perform well in the league and the cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, how can people follow you on Twitter? What's your Twitter name?
It's Stevo MUFC.
Good stuff. And Luke, people can read your stuff on Manchester Evening News, and how can they follow you on Twitter?
My Twitter's at SALV and then Hughes. It's just a bit of a shortened down version of my surname, but my work's published on the Manchester Evening News website weekly, so hopefully I'll have one on this coming week.
Good stuff. Thanks for joining me, lads. You can subscribe to Strictly News TV by pressing the, funnily enough, subscribe button. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and of course share it with your followers and friends. We'll see you again for a review of the Southampton game. Hopefully it's 3 points in the bag. Come on, you Reds.